Okay, we had a question from one of our members on PRPO. And the question is that this stock spiked here this morning and was halted at the $1.60 range, 159. Big pop, stop 160. Now, normally, there are a lot of different volatility halts that you can get, and you can actually on the NASDAQ it'll tell them all. Just let me pull that up. So at the NASDAQ website, well, this is NASDAQtrader.com. This will give you all the reasons for the halts and trade halt codes T1, T2, 5 through H, and you can read them all through. But normally what happens on an initial halt, you get what's called a circuit breaker halt. And it's on because of volatility. And then they usually on a circuit breaker halt, they halt it for 5 minutes. But this has been halted now since 10, and it's now 12. So 2.5 hours this has been halted. So a couple of things happen after that. So you get a circuit breaker halt. Usually it's halted for 5 minutes, and as they try to match up orders. Now this company just put out a press release. So this is an inordinate amount of time, 2.5 hours. So what's probably happened is the SEC or the NASDAQ, on behalf of the SEC, has gone to the company and asked for further clarification on the news. That could be one reason for it. Or there just might be such an imbalance of orders that they're trying to, figure out some way how to get this thing to trade, because right now the indications for an opening are 660 from a $1.60 halt. So the news, obviously, maybe there's a big short, shouldn't be a big short position, because this thing, it was a rollback 1 for 15, so it's very thin. It's unlikely that it has a big short position. So there's an imbalance of orders. But also more likely what it is now, because it's been halted so long, is that the SEC requests the NASDAQ to investigate or get clarification, further clarification on why this, what the news is, why, what it is. And then they might also be asking them to, to look at the trade blotters, see if there was any insider trading, any unusual activity that would allow for people to have an advantage and trade the stock before it opened. No, it doesn't look like that. This thing never traded. It had a little in the pre-market, it did, but nothing serious, and then kaboom, off it went. So somebody knew something in here and they were buying it. There was some rumors maybe. And then off it went. So my best guess is that the SEC is looking at it or through the NASDAQ, checking out all the action. Now they can have this. They can have this if it goes from a halt. Well, no. If it goes from like a circuit breaker halt, then they'll add another code to it, and it can be halted for up to 10 days. And within 10 days, the SEC and through its organization, through its the markets and NASDAQ, Dow, that kind of stuff, they have 10 days to either let this stock come back to trade or move it to suspension. If it moves to suspension, then it can be halted for an additional 90 days before any action has to take place. So that's where we're at with this. So they might just be trying to balance the orders. They're most likely trying to look into the company, see why it popped like this, what the news is, how valid is the news, how accurate is the press release, all those kind of things. So this could, if this stays halted all day, then it probably stays halted for another 9 days.